Hey guys, Preston here. Welcome back to another video. Sorry I'm getting this out later than usual. Been a little hectic this week. I got a midterm and stuff coming up, so it's been interesting to say the least. By the way, this is not an Eagles shirt or anything like that. It's just Hawaii. Uh, don't have any Steeler jerseys right on me at the moment. Just figure I gotta get this video out quick anyway, so no jerseys back there this time. Either way, we got the win. So 4-0 for the first time since 1979, and we know what happened last time we went 4-0. We made the Super Bowl. Obviously, there's probably more coincidence than anything. This team definitely has some work to do if we want to make a Super Bowl, and that's what we'll talk about today, I guess. So, yeah, if we're looking at this game, Pittsburgh looked excellent offensively. I mean, could not be slowed down. Killed it most of the game. I mean, the Eagles scored way more than I would have liked to, and it wasn't like the other games where Pittsburgh looked really rough in the first half and then shut it down in the second. This game, the Eagles actually scored more in the second half than they did in the first half. They basically scored about the same. I mean, a touchdown per half, with one of them having a 2-point conversion. But either way, it was an interesting game to say the least. Very stressful at times, of course, like always. We had a 17-point lead in the third quarter, and it got, way too close for comfort for a little bit there. Luckily, we pulled away, did what we were supposed to, and got the win. I mean, at the end of the day, it wins what matters the most, obviously. But with a team like, when we're a good team, we're 4-0, I need to nitpick. I'm not going to. There's no video. I'm just like, oh, we won. Good job. Goodbye. Like, obviously, I got to talk about. I'm going to talk about what went right, too. There's a lot of good to take away from this game, except it's almost all exclusively offense. And the bad's pretty much all exclusively defense. But real quick, injury-wise, unfortunately, Steelers had 3 players get injured this game. David DeCastro with something abdominal. Deontay Johnson got hit in the back hard, I guess, and that took him out of the game. And Marquise Pouncey's hurt foot. All they said was foot, so we don't even know. They haven't said anything in more detail than that yet, so we don't know if he'll be ready to go by next week. From what I've heard, Deontay seems the most likely to be ready to go. There's a chance DeCastro's not. So we'll have to see. If DeCastro and Pouncey are both out, that couldn't come at a worse time. The Browns, I hate them very much. I think most of us do, but that defensive front's pretty legit, especially, helmet basher, Myles Garrett. He may be a piece of crap, but hey, man, he can rush the passer pretty good. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we're going to have a rookie go against that line, but that's for the preview video. That's another time. Just this game, though, Kevin Dotson did well filling in for DeCastro. I can't remember exactly when DeCastro went out. It was probably third quarter, I think. Johnson was knocked out early again. It seems like he's getting put out of these games in like the first quarter. Hopefully not intentionally. But it's okay because someone stepped up in his absence, and we'll get to that. But yeah, okay. So let's talk about what the Eagles did first. I guess that seems fair. Carson Wentz actually had a good day on us. That was the biggest problem. The passing yards were too much. They threw for like 270 something, I believe. 258 from Wentz, 18 from Hurts. They were moving the ball at will a lot of this game. It's very frustrating, to say the least. 2 touchdowns. The 2 picks, obviously he threw 2 picks, but if we think about it, one was just a bad throw by his part, and that we capitalized on it. The other pick was a punt. I mean, it was 4th and 20, and they had to go for it, so he just chucked it. So that one, our defense didn't really force that one. They did force a turnover, though, in a pivotal moment. That's really helped us. That gave us the 17-point lead that we proceeded to almost blow because, well, that's what we do. And I hate our coordinators. I think, if we're being honest, guys, I already forgot his name. Keith Butler, the defensive coordinator. I thought most people didn't like him for a while. I mean, he was the DC for all the years of garbage defense we had. 15, 16, 14, 17. All those bad years of defense. 18, I guess. Yeah, because last year was 19. And we finally have a great defense last year, 19. And it's like, okay, we're back, we're great. And it's like, but I don't think he's great. I don't think Butler was the reason the defense was good last year. I think the talent was just there and they excelled. And it's starting to look like this old defense again, which are the ones that Butler coached. And I think we have a great head coach. I love Tomlin, but we have some of the worst coordinators in football. And I mean, that's partially his fault though, because he picks who's coordinator. But still, I mean, get new ones, man. Fickner is even worse, though, for being his play calling has always driven me insane. The run, pass, run, pass. It's been like 22 straight games now. We haven't scored a touchdown on the opening drive. It's because we run the most bland, predictable opening drives ever. You can tell when the scripted sequences are on the offense because we do nothing during those times. It drives me insane. I say just have Big Ben call the plays like we did, like Bradshaw did back in the day. That's my rant. I'm venting a little bit today, guys. I'm sorry. It's not as formulaic as the other times. Running the ball, though, we did well stopping the run again defensively. I guess we're already talking about the defense because we were talking about the Eagles' offense. So the run plays were shut down after the one horrendous play. Basically, a 74-yard run gave the Eagles their first touchdown of the night, and that was just a missed tackle by Mike Hilton. Everyone in the backfield got locked up by these practice squad Eagles receivers, which was a little infuriating. We're supposed to be better than that. They just got held, in place. They couldn't do crap. And the closest we got was Devin Bush Speedy. Almost got there, but then in like the most Steelers thing possible, it looked like, I'm pretty sure if you watch it, Nelson dove for his feet, whiffed, and then in the process tripped Devin Bush from being able to get to him. And so, bam, 74-yard touchdown right off the gate. But the reality is, the good part is take away that horrible play, which you can't. I mean, that's garbage, and that's, it's not good enough with this defense, and it sucked that happened. But I will say they did well shutting down the run after that when you consider the fact that Miles Sanders had 80 yards on the game on 11 carries, and 74 of them came on one play. So he had 6 yards on the other 10 carries, that's what the Steelers defense has done most of the year, and that's shut down the run. I'm a little surprised they only did 11 running plays, but I guess they got behind, so they kind of had to. Either way, our pressure was interesting today. We got 5 sacks, which was nice. We got 5 sacks, but I felt like we weren't getting there enough. Like half the game, like there's a lot of times we gave Wentz a lot of time to find his practice squad guys, and they got great catches. I mean, I'm not going to say the receivers are like garbage. They made plays. Some of them made plays, but a lot of to me, it falls on Butler and the scheming. There is no reason that the 6'2" Travis Fulgham should be covered by Mike Hilton, 5'9" Mike Hilton, every play. Like every big catch Fulgham made, there's either no one on him or 5'9" Mike Hilton trying to stop the 6'2" kid, and it drove me insane. The scheming was just not there. This is something we've seen with Keith Butler's defenses all the time, though. We're just lucky it wasn't Vince Williams. This is like textbook Butler to have some guy who shouldn't be covering a dude that size. It's like anytime they try to put Williams on tight ends or they're putting Hilton on Fulgham. Anytime you saw Fulgham stopped, it was Joe Hayden on him. When we were smart enough to be like, hey, maybe we should have an actual outside corner try to stop Fulgham. I love Hilton, don't get me wrong, but he's a way better blitzer than he is a cover guy. To me, Cam Sutton should be out there on these third and super obvious. Sometimes they're both out there, though. I'll give them that. They try to run it more, but Hilton can be a liability sometimes when he's going against taller guys. That's just the reality of being a 5'9" corner. It's just, there's going to be matchups where you don't really stand a chance. And that's what happened with Fulgham. The kid caught 10 catches for 152 yards and a touchdown. We had no answer for him. I mean, I'm happy for him. He had a great day. Good story. Cut like 10 times. But the reality was, it was on us. Bad reads. Horrible soft zone. We ran garbage zone all day. Nothing drives me crazier than the Steelers running the zone defense. I'm sure you guys don't want to think about the Patriots randomly, but you realize most of those Patriot losses is because we sat in our zones and Tom Brady picked us apart. The one time we beat them in 2017, we played press man the whole game. And you would think Butler would just be like, okay, that works, let's do that. But no, I know Wentz has been struggling, but he's not dumb. He's not like a rookie who doesn't understand NFL zones yet. Like they were finding the soft spots every time, and sometimes they were too open too. Or like these guys were like I get the zone, but maybe get to the guy a little bit. There's this really sloppy coverage. I know some of the players are coming out already saying, like, we got to win, we're 4-0, all that stuff. Nelson was real defensive about some of the criticisms and whatnot. And I get it. I mean, yes, they won. They did enough. But the defense would be kidding themselves if they said they were the reason. Because they weren't. This offense, and specifically Chase Claypool, 38 points. It took 38 points to win this game. I don't remember a time the defense gave up 29 points all year last year. Let me check, actually. I want to see. Okay, so the only game we gave up more points than today, and the 29 points we gave up, the only game we gave up more was week 1 of last year with 33, and that awful nothing performance against the Patriots that we all want to forget. And that was pre-Minka and pre-defense really going onto the scene there. Last game of the year, last year we gave up 28, but we basically gave up at that point. But there was long stretches of last season where we gave up, 12, 10, 13, 17, 16, 14, 17, 3. There's plenty of times where our defense did a really good job. Today wasn't one of those days. Every quarter they scored. Like I said, with the Texans game, it was infuriating for one half because we gave up pretty much all their points in that first half, and then they shut it down. They made adjustments. I don't know what changed this game. There was no adjustments made, I guess, because they still, they did what they were going to do. Some of the pressure finally got home. Most of these sacks came towards the end of the game, but at least we got to them eventually. I will say these referees today were garbage for both sides. I know Eagles fans are pissed, and some of them are trying to say that's why they lost. But if we're being honest, I think most people would probably say the Steelers got screwed more with these penalties. They took a touchdown off the board because of a Chase Claypool phantom offensive pass interference where the guy fell on his own. You look at the replay, Claypool didn't, no push at all. That would have been a touchdown. They take it away from us the very next play. Ebron fumbles. That's a swing right there. It's a 7-point swing and went from touchdown to turnover. That's the biggest impact that these refs had all game. And the fact is they haven't been calling holds for our guys all year. There's literally a play today, not today, but Sunday, where TJ Watt was turned around and bear hugged, from the back, bear hugged around like a scene from Titanic, and picked up, and he's just there what are we doing? No call. He literally flipped and hugged from the back. It was insane. I think league-wide holding calls have been down, but it's just crazy to see some of the things these offensive lines are getting away with. I don't know if it's just an innate bias from these refs because they know that we get to the quarterback and we get the sacks. So well, let them have some of these holds. But that one was egregious. That was the most egregious hold I've ever seen. But yeah, there's no kidding. These refs are garbage. I think even Eagles fans would admit it. So horrible game that way, just like that Broncos game. But at least, we won both, luckily, in spite of, I'd say, the refs. But yeah, this defense, especially the pass coverage, just has a lot of work to do still. This isn't a new thing. All year, we've been giving up almost 300 passing yards a game. It's not been great. It's better than most teams still, if we're being honest. Credit where credit's due. And Hayden's looked good most of the year, but they all struggled this game. Nelson had the 2 picks, but one was a fly ball, and the other one was good. It was a bad throw by Wentz, but he took advantage of it, caught it nice. That was a good play by him, I'm going to admit. But he's been struggling the most out of the corners, I believe. He gave up maybe 1 touchdown all year last year, and he gave up 3 already. So not great. I do wish they'd play more man. I'm hoping Keith Butler can finally realize that the soft zones don't work. They just don't. It's not what you can do anymore. Man defenses are becoming more and more of the go-to. And we have the corners for it. Hilton and Nelson, Hayden and Nelson played man a decent amount last year and did a good job. I'd like to see the safeties getting more involved. I will say Terrell Edmonds might have been the best guy in the secondary Sunday, which is something I might never get to say again. He looked good. He had a pass deflection. I didn't see him get burned once. Minka's leaving a lot to be desired. There's a breakdown. I don't know what happened on that. One of the Fulham touchdown. The dude literally got to stand in the front center of the end zone with Minka and maybe Nelson just kind of standing like 6 feet apart from him on either side, just watching. And it's like, is that just, what are you doing? I get you're playing zone, but maybe don't leave a guy wide open in the end zone. That was a weird play. And, I mean, Minka was around the ball there. There's another play where Minka tried to pop Fulham, one of those hard hits. Nothing. Shrugged it off. Gained like 10 more yards. It's just stuff like that. I don't know what's going on. Kind of a cold streak right now. They got to communicate better. There's been that's part of the problem with zone. If you're running zone, you better be meshing really well, and it doesn't seem like the secondary is really meshed yet. Although I will say league-wide defensive have been struggling a little bit, but we just got to figure it out. I mean, we can only worry about ourselves. We got a pretty good Browns team coming up. Granted, they're way better at running the ball, so hopefully we can shut that down again. But we'll see. The toughest matchup of the year is next week. If we're looking at the Steelers' defense, if I had to give a player of the game on defense, which is hard. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's hard. Bleacher Report's broken, too. It's saying he has 2 pass defenses instead of the sack. Instead of the 2 picks. I'm going to go to it because the dude had 5 tackles, tackle for a loss, and he had led the team in sacks with 1.5. Tuitt's been looking really good since the season started. We talked about him a little bit, saying he kind of looked a little. People were saying he looked a little slow out of the gate this year, but now I'm pretty sure he's our leading sack getter this season. Sacks wise, Bud Dupree had a half a sack, T.J. Watt got a sack, Cam Hayward had a sack, and Hilton had a sack. Another sack for Hilton, which is what I'm saying. He's good at rushing this. He's a good nickel guy, playing close to the line. 8 tackles led the team, a tackle for loss, and a sack. But it was a bad day when your top 2 leading tacklers were corners and Nelson and Hilton. Nelson, I'll give him credit. Like I said, he wasn't the best today, but there was a lot of zones, kind of weird stuff going on, and he had the 2 picks. So that's impressive for Nelson. I'm glad to see that because that's the one thing he didn't really get a lot of last year. He had 1 pick all season, already has 2 this year, so that's nice to see. Like I said, Minka and Edmonds, both kind of pedestrian. Minka didn't even register a pass defense this game. Edmonds did, though. 5 tackles and a pass deflection. Good job, Edmonds. So, yeah, mine, I'll go the Notre Dame kid, Stephon Tuitt. This is a double Notre Dame game because you know who we're going to talk about on the offense, and that is Mapletron, Chase Claypool, the freaking Notre Dame beast who I love the pick. I have a Notre Dame Chase Claypool jersey. I don't know if you guys know this, but yeah, I make Notre Dame videos too. I make Notre Dame previews and game reactions afterwards, and so I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. And Chase Claypool was a beast for us last year, and so I'm a Notre Dame draft. When the Steelers drafted him, I was super excited, and I knew he could live up to this potential. 7 receptions, 110 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, and to go along with 6 rushing yards and a touchdown on the ground for 4 touchdowns from the rookie. Could have been 5 without that bullcrap offensive pass interference I mentioned. Huge records broken today from the rookie, for Steelers rookies. I think for Steelers players, it's been forever since any player on the Steelers had 4 touchdowns in a game. Not bad at all for Claypool. That's a great performance. Like I said, this offense looked fantastic. Big Ben played the best game of the season so far. The passing yard numbers still aren't insane. 27 to 34, that's efficient right there. 239 yards, pedestrian, but he didn't have to throw for 500 yards. He still won pretty easy. By 9 points. Or I don't want to do math right now. We won by more than 7, though. And then 3 touchdowns through the air. No picks again. He's taking care of the ball really well so far. Don't want to jinx it, but I think after this game, he's at like 11 touchdowns, the 1 interception, which is pretty good. And he only got sacked once. So that's a credit to the offensive line and Big Ben's ability to just make stuff happen. He escaped the pocket a little bit. He's looking like Ben, man, and I love to see it. Great game by Big Ben. 125 pass rating. Fire emoji from Bleacher Report. I have to agree. Rushing wise, bad day to run. Nothing happened on the running game. I know the Eagles have a really good defensive front, but it's disappointing. Just the way that running game worked out. James Conner had a nothing game, 44 yards, but when you factor in that 25 of them came off one run, the other 14 attempts were for basically nothing. The man averaged no running back averaged more than 3 yards a carry. with Snell going 7 of 19 for 2.7, McFarland 3 of 6, and Claypool 3 of 6, but as a receiver. Ray McLeod was your leading rusher. I do like the plays they used him on. He is a speed demon. We knew this. That's why he beat out Ryan Switzer, which, I mean, finally someone came in and did it. 2 attempts for 63 yards, 31.5 yards. He had a great reverse play that took us right down to the red zone. I mean, he's got speed, and when we blocked it right, that was a good play. That's kind of the Matt Canada influence with some of these screens and reverses and stuff, and it's good to see this offense look a little more modern. So good job by McLeod today, too. Shout out to McLeod. Receiving-wise, let's see. Ebron was actually relatively efficient catching the ball. Caught 5 of his 6. The drops, he had 1 drop. Not a super huge issue. The issue was the fumble that happened. It was a good play by the defense. I'll give it to it. Basically, he caught the ball. Ben threw it tight. I mean, there was 3 people on him when he threw it, but he did have it. And then, I'm sorry, Eagles fans or anyone, I forget the name of the corner, or whoever the secondary guy was, came in, helmet first into his hands, ball popped out. Not great. I mean, he beat himself up over it. Like I said, that play never would have happened if that Claypool touchdown wasn't taken away. But yeah, that was a fumble. Eagles got it. That's a mistake you can't make. He'll just have to clean that up a bit, To me, I don't even know if that should have been ruled a catch. I don't even know. They don't even know their own rules anymore with what's a football move and all that bullcrap. But hey, it was a fumble. It happened. We move on. The drop, that one he probably should have held on to. But catching 5 of 6 is actually pretty good, though. So, no super bad dropping issues from Ebron yet. 43 yards, not bad for the tight end. Starting to get it going a little bit. Chase Claypool is who we talked about. That's the offensive player of the game automatically. When your rookie has 4 touchdowns, he single-handedly kept us in this game for a while. 28 of the 38 points were on by him. I mean, that's efficient right there. I forgot to mention James Conner did have a rushing touchdown. Just kind of one of those pounded in at the goal line plays. Juju, quiet game again, but luckily he's way more humble than Antonio Brown, so he hasn't been flipping out. But he did catch 4 of the 5 targets for 28 yards, so not bad. I mean, he just got locked. I think teams still focus on him, and so he gets put out of the game a little bit. James Washington had a good day. 3 catches on 4 targets for 25 yards. Not horrible. Like I said, we spread the ball out more, except today. Today was pretty Claypool heavy, so the ball was spread a little bit less than usual. I will say Washington, it was a reliable target to get the first down conversion. I think he converted a couple third downs, and he still has a knack for drawing pass interference penalties. I think they can run him straight. He can draw a penalty. I think he drew a PI on Darius Slay at least once today, so that was good to see. Even when he can't get the catches because someone's holding on to him. So good job for Washington today. Connor, kind of just decent dink and dunk. Passing plays gave him 3 receptions for 19 yards. He didn't drop in today. 3 for 3 on targets and receptions. Big old Vance had only 1 catch for 4 yards. He's been pretty much relegated to the blocking tight end this year. Like to see him get both tight ends into it a little more. And Deontay only had 1 catch for a loss of yards on a dumb screen call, the Fickner special. Then he was taken out of the game basically right after. So another nothing day for Johnson due to injury. Boswell made all of his kicks and all the extra points. So shout out to the Wizard of Boz doing what he does. Looked good today. McLeod averaged 24 yards on his kick returns. Not bad at all. Deontay only had 2 punt returns. Didn't average much, but hey, he didn't fumble in the 2 he got. So that's progress. Overall, not a horrible game. There's stuff we need to clean up, mainly defensively. The offense did a really good job today. Had a turnover, so we didn't get to start a non-turnover streak, but it wasn't a pick, and it was a good play by the defense to force that fumble, if I'm being honest. I don't think I would have been able to hold on to it if someone rammed their helmet right into my hands when I'm trying to hold it against me. But secondary, we got some work to do. Let's get it going, get it figured out against this Browns team. Hopefully the pressure can get there a little better. We got to work on containing Baker Mayfield. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this game. Who are your players of the game? Mine were the Notre Dame boys and Stephon Tuitt and Chase Claypool. If you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Any comments, positive or negative, about the team's performance that you want to talk about, I will definitely respond, and we can get a discussion going on that. Anyways, click over here for the playlist on my Steelers game reactions, after they happen. Right here is where you can click to subscribe. It'd mean a lot. I'm at 130. I'm hoping to get to 150 at some point. I'm trying to grow, boy, steady growing. And over here is this random video of mine that YouTube has decided to recommend for you. This is KMA Preston signing out. Go Steelers. See you next week.